come with my construction t-shirt, but I got the t-shirt all day.
I was gonna say, it was in Minnesota style, that's tank top and flip flops.
It's way too nice to be looking at.
That's why I like this.
Maybe I did bitch or maybe widely drop out.
Not a very big meeting today. Are we ready? We're going to open up for these questions. Anybody have any questions or concerns or?
Well, I'd like to, it's not necessarily put on the agenda but the discussion of allowing businesses within the Ozark acres. Like to do what it takes to get the ball rolling to see if we can come up with something to approve that.
First, I think for something like that, we have to look and see what our liability is and go through our insurance company and talk to them about all of that.
Like I said, I'd just like to get the ball rolling because I don't want to wait till the last minute. But whatever it takes to get put on the agenda or whatever.
Okay, well, we can probably put that on the agenda for next week. Yeah, we've got to see what we have. Anything else? Hi, I'm Marcia Johnson. And your name?
Gary Lindsay.
Jerry Lindsay. Well, it's good to meet you. This is Lana Ermy, Katie Britt, Michelle Lang. Nice to meet you. Nobody else have any questions or concerns?
Has the Acres ever done a community dog day?
Well, you know,
Or
Lana was in the office today when we were talking about that. And what we were thinking about is maybe coming up with a day where people can get rid of one large item. You know, because, and then we would take it to the depot when we charge money.
should we just like have a mask and throw it on the burn pile like that big
No.
black couch that's out there right now?
Well, this is why it came up.
Right.
Because nothing should be dumped in the burn pile other than yard waste.
Right.
And we had somebody that dumped the couch out there. So what we were thinking is, and it's just something that came to mind, that we would have a day where people would put one large item out of the road and for $5 we would pick it up and take it to the dump. You know, I don't think $5 is a big amount to pay for an item taken to the dump.
I was thinking more like literally like a massive garbage pickup.
Right, like
I was thinking of like,
listen or.
have we ever rented dumpsters that are placed in a community area that allows people to bring their garbage, not electronics, not furniture, not, well, maybe the furniture would be okay, but no electronics, no appliances, no tires, no, you know, nothing that's not allowed any other time.
What do you mean?
And then like rent, like literally get 2 or 3 dumpsters from Glisten and have them either at the airstrip. I don't really want it down here. But like at the airstrip, and then so that people can throw their stuff away.
For how long?
That they'd be there for 4 days, 3 days.
We find out what's most cost effective. We talk to both waste companies and find out the best deal that we can get.
Well, then we're talking about money, us spending money on that.
Or just leave them there until they're full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't take long though. we could probably clean those things up pretty quick. The reason I said
If
that,
people will bring their stuff.
right,
A
Right.
lot of people that are just
Dumping.
plain lazy.
right. I'm gonna go ahead and run over some of the things that we talked about at the community summit meeting, because they are not like SID business. They were just community things, and several of the things would tie into that. Resident concerns that we discussed were littering, trashy yards, houses, and docks. And so that would just be, you know, I don't know if we'd ever done anything like that. We used to do in our little community in Illinois, what did they call it, Gary? When we do the weekend, we'd have the weekend garage sales, and then the next weekend, what did they call it? I can't remember.
Trash day.
Trash day.
Like the
Yeah, it was-
community, I mean,
it was
Cherokee,
trash day.
you
You
know.
could put out extra trash at your, and the garbage company didn't charge any extra for the extra stuff.
Well, if we could get that, the
So,
garbage company to do
but
that.
we were only able to do it, we did it in the spring and we did it in the fall. And if you didn't have it out there, or if it wasn't what they were going to pick up, it stayed at the end of your driveway. So when we drove past tonight and I saw that couch out there, I thought, I wonder if we've ever done anything like that.
Well, they used to go around and have people, and have the maintenance department pick up garbage, correct, Lana? And then it got to the point where people were having their friends bring the garbage over from their houses that didn't even live in the years.
Like Cherokee Village does a community pickup once in the spring and once in the fall. They send it out, the city does it. Like I know they have a bigger budget and stuff like that.
Is it a pickup at the end of their driveway?
Yeah, yeah, it's a pickup, certain things, this is what's allowed, you
And see,
know.
I think right now Cherokee Village has one garbage company.
Right, they
And
just use,
nobody else-
they just use Waste Connections, but I mean, that's,
You know, that,
we could,
I like that.
we could play them against each other and see who,
idea.
I don't know.
because I know their garbage is not as expensive as ours is.
I like getting one company, it just cuts down on the heavy trucks on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can check it.
A couple of other things that we talked about at the community summit was better communication of important information, damage to roadways, et cetera, due to clogged ditches and culverts. If your ditch or your culvert around your home is clogged up with leaves, and you're complaining that your roadway is washing away, those two things go hand in hand. So you may want to, over the next couple of days, if you've got some nice weather, get out there and burn off your culverts, burn off your ditches, and allow for the spring rains to actually run through where they're supposed to run through instead of underneath the road.
Here's the other thing in that, with the fire department. If you're a homeowner and you contact the fire department and ask them if they will come and burn off your ditches and your leaves for a donation, and as long as you start the fire, they can do that. But you have to start the fire.
So I can start the fire on the spillways then?
But the fire department, I don't know how many volunteers would have to do that. The guys are supposed to come back and do that.
But I've asked Dylan for the last 3 months if we could schedule that and get that taken care of. I wanted it all done before we went through the spring and stuff.
Oh, okay, well, see, we can go to the office, because I didn't hear anything about
Volunteer fire department said.
it. But when you're dealing with Dylan,
That's we can't intermingle that, that's two separate. If we have to contact him through the office for the volunteer fire department, that's mushy stuff, because it's two separate things.
You have to be doing on land if you don't know. Well, I
And
have the land uphill. It's owned by the state,
oh, okay.
and all those leaves wash down and plug my culvert, even though I clean mine out.
Your ditch?
Right.
I mean, a ditch? Yes, burn it.
I really don't see anyone that's gonna go in from the state and
Oh,
say,
yeah.
why don't you burn my ditch? You know, I mean, I'm sure they would say thanks. I don't know. I wouldn't see where.
then what happens is once my car went up and washed it.
Right, exactly, I mean,
So it's actually technically my neighbor's leaves.
really, I mean, if someone wants to fight about leaves, I guess, let them, I
Well,
don't know.
didn't Tim used to always burn all the ditches? At least around by the beach and up by our house and up the Beechams and down, I mean, that was part of the routine of what he did, was he burned a lot of the ditches.
They just talked about having a fire department come out and work with it.
Mhm.
That's one thing, could I have a fire department do that? But
Do
it's
what?
not very, it's in the easement, so it's technically.
Well, I would think that you
Public
would be able
road.
to do that, but see, I would like
What makes
the
it hard?
fire department to get donations for stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, because that's how they make most of their money, to do things around the community.
Yeah, I have no problem giving the donation.
Yeah, then I don't
Only
see
the
why
ditch-
they
The
couldn't.
ditch is lined with cedar trees.
Okay, then I don't see why you couldn't.
Get fire too big, you go and.
Well, that's why they
ditch.
have, they have fixed their, I call them a what is it called?
Pumper truck.
I thought their pump truck was the fire engine. What's the other truck called?
The water truck?
The pumper?
The one that has the water in it.
Pumper, truck turbo fixed,
Okay, that was the
brush
pump,
truck.
the brush truck. And that's what I was thinking, they would bring the brush truck out and monitor it. So, because you don't want to bring out the big fire truck every time they do something like that.
Okay, so if residents want to contact the fire department, you'd like them to do that, how would they want, you want them to go through the
Well-
office for that?
Well, they can, the fire department really doesn't have a phone number.
Okay, so I'm just
So
asking.
I think that if, and then we can just hand it to.
Okay, so what we're saying is, if residents would like to have the fire department there when they're burning off their ditches and their culverts, they can call the office and request the fire department's participation in that.
And the
By
fire
calling the
department-
office.
The fire department can call them and
It'll call
arrange
them
for.
back
Okay,
and say yes or no. Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
Awesome. Perfect.
So if you want your leaves burned or anything for a donation, the fire department is capable of doing that as long as you light the fire. And, you can contact the office and we will forward it to the fire department.
And they will get a hold of
And
you and make
get
a,
a hold of
and
you.
they'll schedule.
Awesome.
So you'll have to leave your phone number with us so we can get the phone number. Okay?
I like that idea.
We also had discussed a possible farmer's market, and because there's been a couple of things on social media, we're aware that there are people in the acres that do have businesses that do make crafts, that do sell product, not necessarily out of their home, but like I sell color street nail strips. But I need a storefront to be able to sell those or go to a craft show or something like that, okay? So we know that there are people like-minded like that in the acres, and people with eggs, people with, I don't know what else people have. John said that he roasts coffee, which
Yeah.
I was super intrigued by. So,
And I mean, and open it up to not just the, include our community.
well, but
because-
I would, yeah, I mean, I would like to start it out with, I think we should
See what we
start
can
it
get
out
here.
with, right, yeah, I would like to try and highlight and support the people that live here,
Right,
instead of having somebody from Highland come in and have,
yeah.
pot holders, when we have women here who make beautiful pot holders that may want to sell them, or whatever the case may be. But if there is interest in a farmer's market on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, if we could get feedback on that, that would be really appreciated. And hand in hand with that, we talked about how it would be nice to have some kind of a directory of people who have skills or work in a trade or are contractors. If you do house cleaning, if you do window washing, the stuff that people are always looking for and asking for recommendations on. If there are members of the community that have those skills, have equipment operating abilities, whatever, I would like to see if we could get something compiled for us to be able to support them and promote them within the acres. So that was something that the Community Summit had discussed, and if there are anyone that would like to reach out and send an email to the office, that would be amazing. Put farmer's market in the subject line and we'll take it from there.
And we have the commissioner's email.
Yeah. We also decided that we're going to hold that meeting monthly, and there are tentative dates. It's usually on the second Saturday of the month. It's just a chance for you to come, be heard, discuss, have good conversation. I think it was a really productive meeting and gave us a lot of good ideas about ways that we can get the community involved in what we're doing.
It was a really good.
Did you put a summary of the meeting on Facebook or anything?
No,
Did you record it?
We had technical.
I was going to record it, but then the SD card was full from I don't know how long. By the time that we were done, it was still flashing. So,
Okay.
but we did find out too. We did talk to Lauren. At that point, because we are opening up the dates to the public and everything, us four can be there for an open discussion. It does not consider it, I think, isn't that what Lauren said?
Yes.
Well, I'll check into that further because I want to be sure that that's the case. So we'll check into that and if it is, we'll be there. Because I would have liked to be there, but I didn't want to be there and have a meeting or not.
Well, and I think it's because
Because the public are there.
because the public were there, we put it out
That it is.
that it is a
Meeting.
open forum, and we we informed the public.
But yeah, we can check it out.
Yeah.
So it was a good meeting. There were some other things, and it'll be in our report there that we covered. And if anyone lives on a lake that can keep track of lake levels easily out of their window, I would really, really, really appreciate a email to the office with lake level watcher in the subject line, so that I can gather some information on how better to monitor inflow and outflow of the lake.
Do we have any volunteers, anybody?
I volunteered
Do what?
to watch Spring Lake.
Dude, that's all you do all day.
I volunteered.
Volunteers tribute.
Yeah. Hey, there's a fish out there. Oh, look, we got a dog.
See the second
Did you ever get the reports from the state on the lake?
I have not.
No.
I have not. I think we got into holidays and everybody went like, I don't know if Arkansas shuts down for the month of December or January or what. But I have reached back out. I've gone over her head to the, everybody that I was communicating with, I've gone at least one level higher and said, hey, why don't we have this yet? And I've gotten no response from anything.
Has anybody showed you or somebody yet how to do the thing on Vagabond if we have to open it up? What's it called?
I actually went into the office today and there was a paper in my mailbox that was what I had asked about a couple of months ago with if we have bad weather, are there any standard practices for when we have bad weather. And it appeared in my mailbox today, I was very excited. It was written in 2015. It says that the lake commissioner and the maintenance foreman are supposed to monitor the lake levels, and the operations manager is supposed to be the one who controls the valve, and how that person controls the valve. Now, I don't know who the operations manager ever was. I'll be honest and tell you that I have seen that terminology in our emergency action plan that were written about the same time, 2015, 2016. I don't know who the operations manager ever was. It's definitely not the lake commissioner, because that person is named to do something separate.
Shed light on that, who the operations manager,
Melvin?
Well, again,
who is the operation manager for the lake? It states, the lake commissioner and the maintenance,
Maintenance foreman, which I would assume would have been Tim.
right?
But then who was the operations manager?
what for Ozark Acres,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be the lake commissioner.
Okay.
And he asked, lake watchers, do they have a training course for responsibilities?
I will, yeah. If I get people volunteer, I'll have all kinds of training courses.
I mean, guys, the lake watchers in our action plan call the action plan or the emergency management plan into effect.
Right,
The lake commissioner does it.
right.
They have to monitor the seepage through the dam, the water, the level of the water in the spillway. They make decisions to notify people downstream. So this is our responsibility with the lake water.
So, what you're asking about?
What I'm asking about is just literally the level, the water level and the rainfall. I have been asked to provide information about how our lake responds to rainfall and runoff. And I can't provide that because I can't drive from my house over to the lake every hour on the hour to watch what's happening during a rainstorm. So I'm asking right now for people that live on the lake that we can put a measuring device outside of your window and you can look out there and go, wow, the lake went up an inch, the lake went down 6 inches, whatever the lake is doing.
Didn't you have things put
Well, I
in the
know.
lake?
He did, I already talked about
Yeah,
that.
they was four of them in the lake.
Right, but not by anybody's house. So now I need someone to be able to go and look at those things. So again, we're not traveling across the.
Well, if you put something big enough out that I can be on my deck with binoculars, I should be able to see a marker.
Exactly.
I'll do that, and I can watch,
Thank
I
you,
can
Jeff.
kind of tell by where the dock is, how high it is on the beach
Right.
thing too, so.
Right.
But if you put something up
That's exactly what I'm
that,
talking
I mean, I know I can see the spillway with binoculars, so if it's big enough and marked clear enough, I can check it that way.
Very good, thank you.
And then I'm sure from having talked to Della when she gets back from California, she's got a bird's eye view
Of another
from her
marker.
lake house that she'd be willing to do it, because she was already keeping an eye on it on her own.
Cool.
So if there's a marker that she can see and I can see, we should be able to cover it.
Thank you.
If not, we won't have a lake and you can blame me.
We're gonna blame you anyway.
I'm sure you will, I don't care.
Okay.
I'll have good soil for a garden.
Okay, anything else from anybody?
I have one for the meeting starts. I was gonna ask Katie, why do you think I should be a commissioner?
What do you mean?
Well, I was told that you told people I should be a commissioner. I just wanted to know why.
And it's on you how you handle situations. I mean,
How do I?
obviously, I don't think you handle them well at times because we don't know what to do.
What was I don't understand what you mean.
I don't think this needs to happen right now.
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm not gonna,
Let's-
I'm not putting myself in that position.
Okay, let's wait. we can go into an executive session and discuss that because that's kind of like those employee.
An employee thing?
Well, we're kind of like employees, but that's something that we discussed.
No, we are level. We are not each other's employees.
Well, no, that's not what I said. We're like all, anything between us should be in an executive session.
It can't
I
be.
don't know where this needs to be
It can't be.
involved in a meeting at
It can
all.
only be employees that are in executive session.
All right, okay,
Just so you know, before that gets made into a big deal.
okay. So, if they don't want to discuss it, we don't discuss it. Okay. All right, anything else?
We're afraid of the wrong person.
Okay, well, we can go ahead and start the meeting now. Let's start the meeting, it's 6:26. So we'll call the meeting to order. Say prayer for us, please.
Dear Lord in heaven, I want to thank you for this day that we enjoyed. Thank you for what you've made, and what you've given us. Thank you for the time we had to come together tonight and enjoy a meal. Thank you to the group that's gathered today. We hope we can get together and work through the issues we've got to deal with. We pray that we all make good decisions for what's good for the community and all of each other. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Commissioners present. Britt.
Lang.
Johnson.
Oh. Do we have that yet?
What? Yes. That'll be part of the thing. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting whenever we finish our business. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Well, let's have a time. Just a random time, we can always just do this.
7:30.
I second.
All in favor? Okay, our deputy's not here.
Why?
Did we call him, Susie, or no?
How long have it? At the end of the year, and let our new sheriff come in, so we have signed the contract.
Okay, so that,
Okay, so, all right, cool. So we don't have a deputy now, but we did have a deputy in October and November.
And December.
Yeah, that's what I meant, November and December, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. I'm also going to make a statement. Jean has given me her letter of resignation. I will read it to you all. Okay. I have it here somewhere. Okay, to Ozark Acres SID. I resign my appointment as SID Commissioner as of the date of this letter. As a result of my recent move, I pray everything goes good for everybody. Love and prayers, Shane Murphy, and it's paid in January 16th. So that's her resignation. So we will also be looking for a new commissioner to replace her. So if anybody is interested in that position, they can call the office and fill out a thing and we will go over them.
Does it have to be a woman?
A what?
Does it have to be a woman?
No. Not
I
at
was just
all.
asking.
Not
Behave
anymore.
yourself, we're not drinking anymore. Doesn't it like school?
And the seat that will be open will be there until, November. And then,
Right.
in November, we will have a regular
Election for
election.
3 seats.
Okay? All right. Let's move to old business. Vote to approve minutes from November 15th. Has everybody read the?
Yeah, there was just some typos on the last
Yeah,
month.
I had
And so
the
they've
absent
been
put around.
corrected.
Oh, well, you could have
Well, we
voted
didn't,
them and put with
well,
correction.
we didn't know that because I didn't know how to run.
Okay, all right. And then December, okay, you want to read the minutes? Okay,
So we're gonna read them
No,
out
we don't
loud?
need
No.
them. Do I have a motion to approve them?
I move that we approve the minutes from 11/15/22 and 12/20/22 as written and corrected.
Okay. All in favor? Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Next. New business. And I'm not sure who put this on, who this was for, request for resident committee volunteers.
I put that on. So we are requesting the residents, no, we are going to need residents to be on a budget committee. I would like to see if we could get residents for a clubhouse committee, to see if we can look at other ways to bring money into the community, whether that is through renting out the clubhouse, through whatever we can do. But we can't do it. The four of us are not going to be able to do everything that needs to be done. And so if anybody would like to participate in helping any of these things that we're trying to advance, we would love to have you. We would love to have people helping. So I'm requesting that anyone that would like to volunteer, whether it's for clubhouse or beach, I'm going to, according to my responsibilities, I'm supposed to have volunteers that man the guardhouse at the beach all summer long, and I don't know that many people, and most people that I do know don't want to do that. So, because they live over on my lake, because it's a kind of a thing. So, we need people in the community to step up and help make our community become whatever it's going to become. So I'm putting out an all-call bulletin for any community volunteers in any stretch, any position, anything that they'd like to do. Hit me up.
Okay, now we do have a women's club that runs things for,
Like our dinner tonight and
right, and we do
Easter,
things for the
right.
community. We do
Right.
things for the kids and so forth. We had a wonderful Christmas breakfast for the kids.
Thanksgiving
and it was a
dinner
big
and all of
event.
those are right. And so all of those are awesome.
We also need people to help and volunteer for other things in the community. And we would like to get a volunteer watch group for watching out for our neighbors. You know, if somebody wants to, what do they call it, Lana?
Community watch.
Neighborhood watch.
Neighborhood watch. So that would be something that would be nice to have. And we kind of also talked about having like a group of men that would be willing, if somebody has a problem, like they need a ramp built for a handicap ramp. If we have men that would volunteer to help him build those ramps or help somebody with a problem in their, say their porch is falling down. As long as that person pays for materials, if we could get men to volunteer to help them, that would be wonderful. So there's a lot of things that we can do to help each other in the community.
And that kind of brings me to number 2, which is also mine. Discuss updating resident contact information. We can't communicate with the residents if we don't know how to communicate with the residents. If we don't have your updated email address or a phone number, we're not going to be sending you things in the mail. We don't have the money for that. It's too time and labor intensive to send information out in the mail. So please update your property owner's cards. If you are a renter in the acres, please make sure we have a way to contact you. You're a resident, you live here, we want you to participate in our community, but we don't have a way to reach out to you. If you don't want us to share your telephone number, really, I'm not going to make a phone directory, I'm not the Yellow Pages. If you don't want to share your email, you'll have to note that, but otherwise, that's how people communicate now, is we do things electronically. And it would make everything much easier if we had all of that information updated. While you're sending us that information, if you could tell us if you have a skill, if you have equipment, if you have, like, I know this is going to sound silly, but I used to have a dream about living in a neighborhood where I didn't have a riding lawnmower, okay? But the dude next to me had a riding lawnmower and I had the weed whacker. And he'd do my yard and we'd share, you know? So if people have equipment or skills in the acres that we don't have to go outside of the acres for, that's awesome to know that.
Almost
Okay.
like an old-time barter system.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that no one's going to make money off of this, because if you want to charge for your services, charge for your services. But we have to know that you have services available before we can say to our residents, this gentleman does carpentry, this guy's a plumber, whatever, okay? So if we could expand the knowledge of what our assets are as far as people go in the acres, I think that would be an incredible thing to try to do.
You know, that's like if somebody during the winter time has a pipe break in their house. You know, a lot of people have pipes break. And if they have to call a plumber, it can be days before a plumber can get out because there's so many people. But if we have residents that can help with plumbing, you know, people would be welcome to have them come and help. So that would be a nice thing also. And as far as communicating with the office for your emails and your phone numbers, if anybody has just moved here and they have to put their change of address into the office, so if you've moved here from Michigan or wherever and you've had a house down here, if you don't tell us that you're living here now, we don't have your current address. So we need to have that given to the office also. Okay?
There's just going to be a lot of information that people should be able to easily send it out, especially with our current situation. It'd be nice just to be able to do an email blast from the SID commissioners that says, hey, this is what happened on this date, and this is what you should expect going forward. Okay?
Okay. The next one is discuss current responsibilities of current commissioners. Well, we've just now gotten our resignation, and we've all gotten new packets for each job responsibility. So I'm going to table that until we have everything together. And I think the same thing with the bylaws too, since we've got current bylaws. So we will table number 4 also. Okay? Okay, the next one is discussing selling 2 fire vehicles and 2 SID vehicles. We have a large dump truck at the assignment. We have nobody that has a CDL driver's license in our employee that can run it. Well, there's no sense of us paying taxes on it and paying insurance on it and paying for license plates on it if we don't have anybody to use it. So we are considering selling that dump truck. Also, we have a small black truck that has some issues that we have also talked to the fire department a little bit. It came up in a conversation that we were having today, that they could probably use that truck to hold their items when going to brush fires, like rakes and
Which truck are you talking about?
the little black truck with
Okay.
lights on top of it.
Okay.
Which should be with the fire department because it has lights on it already. And we don't need that for security or anything like that because we just don't have it. So I think that we will have the fire department using that truck instead of selling it. And that way they can,
Do we have, I'm sorry, do we have a listing of all the vehicles that we own?
yes.
I
It's
mean,
in the office.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, do we have?
Not in here,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
So, and then we also have the old fire truck that we want to sell. And what's the other truck that they have at the fire department that we were talking about selling?
Not the pumper, not the,
Yeah, but that other truck,
what's the name of the other one?
I don't know what they call them. The one that was carrying all the equipment that we're gonna put in the black truck now. I can't remember what it's called.
Anyway, yeah, right, a listing of all, I'm terrible with vehicles, man,
Well,
I can't tell you what kind of truck
They
it's a
tell
truck.
me that it's a pump truck, well, to me, it's a fire engine.
Right.
So, and then the brush truck, I would think that was the pump truck because it's got water on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're called.
Okay.
So, I think we're going to look into selling them and putting them, in an ad and putting a minimum bid and have a blind bid for them to sell them. Okay, we will start the bid out with a certain bid, and anybody that's interested in it can send a bid to the office. And then we will give them a month or so and see how it goes. But we'll have it started.
Dylan's gonna check with Al Biggs, who's the district fire chief, and see what difference they should.
In the volume form, yes. Definitely have
That'd be good
volume
to check with, because I know not just a random person knows
Yeah.
lots of fire truck is where.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
know?
So that's the other thing. So if, anybody's interested, we'll have that all put together for the next meeting. Okay? And we'll,
I was gonna say, we might, I was just gonna say that we probably shouldn't be selling anything after.
yeah, we'll only afterwards. Also,
Okay, now I have a silly question, I'm sorry. It says on here, selling 2 fire department vehicles and 2 civ vehicles, but
Well-
now you're talking about just giving the fire department, like, one of the
Well,
civ
that was
vehicles.
after-
Hold
that
on, so let me just make sure I have it clear. Because we wanna sell 2 civ vehicles, but we're not gonna. We're gonna sell 1 civ vehicle,
Yes.
we're gonna give the fire department 1, and then the fire department's gonna sell 2.
yes.
So are they selling the one that we're giving them, or are they selling one of the other?
They're selling one of the other ones to
2 of
replace
the other ones, or just 1 of the other?
the fire truck and another truck, and they're replacing the other truck with the black truck.
Got it?
Yeah.
This is why we need make and model. This helps a lot.
Woo! I'm so, okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, give me a list, and then I can just cross them off,
And then
or
we've
just
got
make
to
your
also
own.
get the mileage on the vehicles too. And I understand that you can't get mileage off a couple of them because
There are 2 old, yeah.
so we'll have to check that out too. So,
Wait, we're gonna try and sell a vehicle that you can't even pull mileage because it doesn't run?
yeah,
Happens all the time.
well, it runs, but
You
the
can't, the mileage
doesn't.
doesn't run.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
what do they call that?
The odometer.
So they buy it as is,
Yeah.
so.
That's when you put NAN in the mileage.
Okay. So, do we have any more questions about that? Also, yeah, I didn't put this on the agenda.
Oh, interesting.
And, we amend the agenda. We can amend the agenda. We're gonna put an ad in the paper for a
Make a
full-time.
motion to amend it first.
Okay, let's make motion to amend the meeting. Do I have a motion to
I'll make
amend
a
the
motion
meeting?
to the amend the meeting to add
Second?
Amend the agenda.
your agenda, yeah.
Agenda.
Words are hard for me today.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We would like to we're gonna put an ad in the paper for a new maintenance person to replace Dylan. Dylan will be leaving probably in the spring. I would like to see us get a maintenance person that would be knowledgeable on running of own vehicles and with experience with the road department.
Maybe that's something that we could look for and then we wouldn't have to sell the dump truck. if we
No,
were able to-
no, sell the dump truck, sell the dump
right.
truck, sell
We
the
don't
dump truck.
need that.
Okay.
We got the little one,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
so.
Okay.
So what did Dylan want to know before?
Well, I had heard rumors, so I asked her about it. So,
But he hasn't given an actual date.
So,
no, it's sometime in the spring. Probably, but we need him for a little while anyway to show, we have to hire somebody. So, he's gotta be around for that. So that, once we get the ad together, that will be placed in the newspaper. And where's the other thing that we have to post it at?
Indeed and ZipRecruiter, really easy to do.
Okay, so we'll place them there also.
Yeah, it's really simple to do.
So,
That's something that I could probably email to Susie and just say, push this, that, like, it's super simple.
so, I'm sorry, I don't understand why we need, I do understand why we need to put an ad in the paper because of the lawsuit. I don't understand why we didn't discuss rehiring Jeanette. I don't understand that.
Jeanette is on a medical leave. And
FMLA.
FMLA.
So she comes back when her doctor
So-
releases.
Anyway. Okay. So the next on the list is financial.
So, okay, hold on, I'm still a little confused. So is Jeanette's salary, is Jeanette's cost included in our budget that we have tabled for it now? Is she in there with
Yes.
Susie and
Yes.
Dylan? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. Now,
Since we're running out of provisional, I just want to make sure we weren't shooting ourselves in the foot.
Can I ask a question?
yes, ma'am.
I'm curious as to if Jean is gone and maintenance is the majority of the budget, who's overseeing maintenance? Because that should be the one that should be overseen more than anything. So are you gonna do it as a group or what's going on?
Well, Lana
Just
has
curious.
volunteered to take over maintenance.
Okay.
And and I will help her with that, so the two of us doing the maintenance.
Yeah, I'm just curious, 'cause big part of the budget.
And that's just a temporary thing until November. You know, and then once November comes around,
Until we bring this current responsibilities of current commissioners back out next month is when it's temporary until.
right, well, and then we'll figure out who's doing what. Well, actually, what the maintenance, who will be doing maintenance is when we'll figure that out.
Can I ask another question,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
out of curiosity? So, just because I had heard this in previous meetings with the dump truck, how much is it costing for us to get gravel hauled in here if you're looking at hiring a new maintenance person who possibly could have a CDL license? Does it make sense to pay X hundreds of dollars, or does it make sense to have the truck if by chance you can get a maintenance person with a CDL license?
Well,
How long has that dump truck been sitting?
since Tim left.
Since Tim left, 2 years?
No, it hasn't been left for 2 years, it hasn't even been a year.
And the only reason I ask it is because I heard at meeting after meeting, the reason that that truck was purchased was financially, it made more sense at that point, because we had somebody with a license, to have the truck because it's hundreds of dollars, I believe, but I'm not sure, to get a load of gravel here, correct?
Was paying Chris $10,000 a year to haul gravel.
To haul gravel. So if we're gonna, if you're looking at hiring a maintenance person, why wouldn't you wanna wait to see if you get one that's got a license to make the decision on whether or not to get rid of that truck, if it's gonna save $10,000 a year?
Okay, well, we can discuss that, and we'll table that. Selling of that.
I knew it was a lot.
And we'll look into that further.
Well, I just
And February, you guys better strap up, and we're gonna be so busy in February.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, financials for January. We have in the general account, $106,624.89. The money market account is $64,524.58. Fire department interest fund, $500. Active attorney balance is $10,593.14. Volunteer fire department petty cash is $8,688.10. Special business account has $19,303.59. That has been lowered because we transferred some of the money out of that account to pay the contractor for the roofs and stuff, yes.
The rescue plan funds,
Is $5,007.12.
where did we get that from?
That came from the county.
When did we get that?
When was that meeting?
Couple months ago.
No, it was more than a couple.
I was gonna say, I didn't remember ever hearing about it, because I would have been jumping up and down and throwing confetti.
No, I don't think you were on board with that.
Okay.
So,
Anytime we get money in, I like to jump up and down and throw confetti.
but, and I knew we were talking about, ordering some more turnout for the fire department.
Ooh.
But not all of it.
Speaking of volunteer fire department, so if the county is going, I don't know anything about this, right, but if the county is going digital on their communications, we're not digital, what's that gonna do?
That's what part of this $5,000 going to go towards.
Wait, what about their 55 grand that they got, or their 60,000, isn't that
We
theirs?
got 50, yes.
So can't they use that for their,
That's what I'm saying, that's what this American Rescue.
oh, that's fire department money?
Yes,
Oh, well, then
yes.
forget it, I wasn't jumping up and down throwing confetti at all, what the heck? I thought there was an extra.
That was.
Okay, so this is actually the fire department money.
Correct.
We changed the name on the,
Well, this
Line.
is a fund, this is a fund that won't last forever.
Uh-huh.
We've got to have this money spent by a certain time, and I don't have the time off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
So. you can-
All right, I was just confused. I thought that it was something that would actually come into the SID, and it was not, because it's usually listed as volunteer fire department money, and it wasn't, so I got confused.
Okay.
All county fire departments got the 60,000.
And
I know,
and they spent 55,000
On the truck, right, so is that $5,000 then going to cover what we need to do to make digital communication
That-
available
we
with
will
our
also-
county?
We will also use part of the Act 803.
Which is their money, I don't care about their money, I'm
We're
just,
not, we're not gonna go digital. The fire department is.
that's what I'm saying.
And it will be.
Okay, that's what I was asking, it was a simple question about, like, if the county goes digital for fire departments, then our fire department needs to do that too, in order to maintain communication with them,
Yes.
correct? Okay, so then that was my question. And then you said you were gonna use this money, and I was like, whoa, whoa, I thought that was our money.
No, that's not.
Our money, but it's their money, so they can spend it on whatever they want.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
get first.
now, the office report.
Which I don't have.
Can I ask a dumb question? What's digital communication? I don't know.
They're going to all new radios and walkie-talkies and not using cell phones and, so they literally are ordering all new radios for the cars and the officers and the dispatch. At least that's what I saw on KAIT News 8.
So, we are going to go in with, Kyle Dents and get a few of the other fire departments all together to order these radios because they are really expensive.
Yeah, they're
The more
super
you
expensive.
order, the less.
But they're not, you're not, but then it wouldn't be the case that everybody on the fire department gets one. It's
No,
just the
no,
ones that are
no.
actually going to the
Yes.
meetings and not the 28 on the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's going to be an inventory of who gets them, I would assume, because I know when at one point in time, they got new radios and they all disappeared, nobody knew where they went.
No, everything is being accounted for. All the turnout gear they got last time has all been signed out and they know if they're responsible for the turnout gear.
Can I ask one more question? Sorry. When was the last time the guys checked the fire hydrants? Does
We have
anybody
fire
know? Because
hydrants?
I think it's been forever.
Where do we have fire hydrants?
This one in my house.
You're special.
I know. I'm not sure where the other ones are. I think there's one up on Vagabond. Tom, do you know where they all are?
I checked all the hydrants about 3 months ago.
Oh,
We have a problem
with the water company they did it?
Well, most of the time they check the hydrants, dirty water comes out. We had 2 hydrants coming out with clean water.
Oh.
So, they were
Never
feeling
knew that
somebody
clean water would
stealing
ever be
water.
a problem.
Okay.
Dan, I'm at the meeting when the fire departments get their turnouts, gloves and everything, and I have inventory in the office, and then they have to initial after they get it. So
Well,
we've
that's
got-
good, because I just remember when the radios disappeared.
Yeah. Okay. the
Thank
office
you, Lana.
The office report, they doing, of course, payables, payroll, account receivables, pay monthly maintenance report, she creates the office report, prepares reports for monthly SID meetings. I will report to you last, I don't know when yet.
I don't have a maintenance report.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll get those for you guys. They get little sticks from the county, I go pick them up, and they've got all the deeds, the new deeds on them, so they have to go through those, and those take like an hour for each deed, because you have to go through every line item. It's not something they bring out for Ozark Acres, or Cherokee Village, and there's marriage licenses in there, there's all kinds of stuff in there, mortgage information. And so we have to open it up and see what it is, we open it up, if it's ours, then we open it completely and copy it. And they've been entering in the assessments that have been coming in and discussed we have made back and forth. And then I, of course, do all the accounting at this point and help them with that and check the bank statements and make sure they balance, and they have. Thank goodness, because one time I was a penny off, and I haven't talked to him yet. All right, next we have who?
Me, lakes, beaches, park, lakes, we got no live tree, none, no live tree donations. I'm amazed. Everyone uses artificial Christmas trees or else didn't want to share.
You know what? I hate to interrupt you, but I'm going to leave it. I was with that place up there on the corner in Harvey, they had all those Christmas trees.
Yeah, Cozy.
And I was going to stop by.
Debbie actually asked me if I wanted to look into it. She did not want to donate to them.
Cherokee's did.
Oh,
Well, she didn't want to donate them to me.
Yeah, she said Cherokee removals.
okay, well, that's something that we can, for the picture.
Right,
What
definitely.
about the streetlights?
Mhm.
How about the streetlights?
Okay,
As
and
far as,
next,
Oh God, the beaver seems to have moved on. I did find Darren some really cool information about,
finish talking.
I never
They
found-
brought it up again.
knew that this would work. We always wrapped,
Private property.
not chicken wire because chicken wire will not stop them because they're too heavy. Okay, you need to leave about 4 to 6 inches around the circumference of your tree that you're trying to protect. Use regular wire fencing and just put, a circle of wire around that tree trunk. Okay, it needs to go up about 4 feet. Even cheaper than that. This is such a cool concept. You can take 32 ounces of mason sand, which is just a very fine sand, add it to a gallon of outdoor latex paint, and paint your tree trunk up 4 feet. They have found that to be an extremely effective way of keeping beavers from taking large mature trees. And how fun would it be? You can color coordinate your tree to whatever your little heart desires. So 32 ounces of mason sand mixed in a gallon of outdoor latex paint is a beaver deterrent. I'm super excited to announce that. County Extension will be coming out to conduct water testing next month. I am going to have them run the gamut of testing, not just E. coli at the beach. I'm going to have them take samples at several different locations in Lake Vagabond and Spring Lake. I've heard horror stories lately about the terrible things that we have done to our lakes and allowed to happen to our lakes, and that no one would ever drink the water, or no one would ever eat a fish out of it, and no one would ever whatever. So I want to know really what's going on with our water quality, and they'll be out there next month to do that. I would appreciate anybody that is actually catching anything, not fishing. Okay, we do enough, I do fishing all the time. I'm not really good at catching. If you're catching things, if you could give me an update on what we're pulling out of the lakes, awesome sauce. Would love to be able to give that feedback to the county extension when he comes out. It all works together to form a watershed protection, and just the whole system works together. But if I know what kind of fish we've got in there, if they're good sized fish, if the worms are crawling out of them, or whatever all the horror stories are. So if you do have catching or fishing feedback, I would love to hear it. Beaches and parks, nothing other than I drive by every once in a while and go, oh, okay. That's it.
well, you learned how to do the camera.
Yes, I did. I did learn how to do the camera because we had a police call. It was really boring now. The police call was baby down. It's really disappointing. I realized that we have very nice cameras down at the beach and in the marina, and like you might want to share that it's every angle that we can monitor down there.
Okay, and clubhouse.
We have one rental coming up, we had another, but it was canceled. I know the women's club are thinking something for, what was it?
The fourth. Well, the Fourth of Fire, well, I'll let you talk about that. We're gonna have a
Women's
Easter.
club?
The Easter, right?
Oh, the women's club's using it, is gonna have $5 plate dinners here the third Tuesday of every month from
Before
4
the
to
sale.
7 for the year for their fundraiser, to be used for things for the children. So people could come and eat a cheap meal and come to a meeting and participate.
Yep.
All the way
That would be
around.
awesome. It like all goes together and that's so cool.
Right.
Next month's Taco Tuesday, if
And then
anybody
we'll give
cares
their
to know.
kids candy and toys.
Yep.
That's a win-win.
Not a thing.
Not a
raise
deal,
the
but I mean,
money.
that's what you'll use the money for, is to
Yes.
give them candy and toys.
Yep.
So yeah, everybody
And
benefits.
breakfast.
And
We're
breakfast.
feeding children.
Right.
Yep.
So, yes, our hope is that we can raise enough money to do other things for the community also, like maybe updating playground equipment or something for the kids.
Also too, at the community meeting, it was discussed of looking into changing fees for rental for the clubhouse. Looking into seeing what other places around the area, what they rent for. You know, we can rent, so, like Cherokee Village, they have a resident price and then they have a non-resident price. And that's where we can open up a little bit more to the outside community, but still protecting us a little bit more.
That'll probably all come after this
Mhm.
finish.
Right.
We're just getting prepped now.
Yeah.
We're getting more like starting.
We're starting
You know, in
communication
February.
already, so when it's time to go, we can really start running on some stuff, so.
Okay. All
And
right.
Katie would love to have a clubhouse committee.
Yes, yes, I would. That would be very helpful because as Chris Ellen said, I live on the other side of the acres.
You ever thought about putting a
It's-
lockbox?
Huh?
You ever thought about putting a lockbox with a key? Instead of having to somebody run down here to unlock a door or whatever?
Well, I know when they rent it, usually they give them a key, right? And then the next office day, like if it's on a weekend, the next office day, they return it.
Well, they can make a copy of it.
Yeah, no.
Everything too.
Yeah. Okay. Point ticket. Just saying.
Okay. Is that it for you, Katie?
I think so for right now, my memory's bad right now, it's bad brain.
Maintenance.
Maintenance, yes.
Let me get the fire department.
Okay, you can do fire department first.
Well, here's the responsibility.
I just put a huge fingerprint right this.
Maintenance report for January 2023. This is December and January. 3, change oil on Dodge work truck, check fuel on grader, check fluids for dump truck, check salt spreader, check fluids for all the vehicles, fix brush truck, fix oil pumper truck, install turbo, clean intercooler on pumper, put in oil and tubes into the intercooler for pumper truck, fix brace for plow, hatchet cut metal and weld it back for plow, fix bridge on Springwood Drive, dugout culvert on buckboard, ditch on the pass, frontier, dug out multiple ditches around the acres, push brush pile up, grade Deer Run, East Parkwood, East Lake Shore, West Mimosa, East Mimosa, and several other roads inside the acres. Put gravel down on Bald Eagle Drive, check washout roads and fix several areas that were washed out, clean shop inside and around outside, did inventory, check parks and clubhouse for clear.
Fire department?
Here's the fire report for January 17th, 2022. We got our brush truck up and going again. We got our pumper truck turbo fixed, and it's working good again. We will have a discussion about fundraisers coming up. classes to get more firefighters certified will also be coming up soon. He had one first responder call. We have 13 certified fire persons, 21 members. I've got 2 people that lack one class, and so that'll make us 15 certified for those 2 get their one class. I have 4 applications here that our deputy was checking our people out, but since we no longer have one, dispatch told me that an officer has to check these out, but they can't just automatically do it, so I've got to find somebody, officer that will do it.
Is that something that we can reach out to, like the reserve? That would be, I mean,
Is there a limit of how many people we're allowed to have on our fire department, or is that just kind of like whatever we decide? Is there like a,
I don't think there's a limit.
okay. Is there a minimum that we have to have? I mean, is it based at all on
You
population?
have to have 6 certified to get your 833 funds.
Okay.
okay, so 6 certified is the minimum we have to have.
Yeah, to get 8 certified, or 833 funds.
Okay. All right.
I noticed a sign at Highland, they're wanting more firefighters, and you think they got it. They're doing something more.
They're volunteer too, aren't they?
Also, I'm told that Williford is not able to get out right now, so if they have anything, our guys are covering this end of Williford, and who's Mark Creek takes the other side. So Williford's trying to get that organized.
I wonder if Cave City would be able to
That
help with like Poughkeepsie and stuff.
If they have a mutual fund,
Yeah.
thankful when they fill out, I know we just got ours in the water.
Okay. I don't know if you know some of it. I know, I've driven those roads so much, I know who has I pass up all the buildings all the time.
That's fine.
What about the meeting here?
Yeah, they're meeting February 4th.
The meeting on February 4th? For the fire
For the
department?
fire department on Saturday, February 4th.
Yes.
That's for the fire department members only. We're gonna have a breakfast.
They're gonna discuss,
They can't have it at all.
they're gonna discuss ways of doing fundraising.
They can't have, that's what we're going to say.
I know.
Fundraising theme.
I got the fundraiser today, the first one I went to Hardy City Hall, talked to the mayor, he said he had no problem. And then I went to Bill's Cash Saver and I talked to the manager and he said that would be fine for them to have filled the booth thing. Take a booth down there and sit outside for fire department.
I've got some other ideas. Okay. Okay. I got good ones. Really, I have to raise some money. My God. Okay.
All right. So do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
We have one other question, I believe, in the back. Susie was talking.
Did they know about this?
Yeah,
Yes, I just talked to that.
yeah. We'll talk about that.
Did we have another question back there?
Susie, what were you discussing with the gentleman that he had a question that you were talking?
Well, he was asking about the lights. Was it, he misunderstood and thought that all owners have to take on the lights that are near their house?
Okay.
And I explained to him that if he would be willing, that's great, it helps the SID on less cost.
Okay, great.
He knows the
I
answer.
just didn't know if he'd gotten an answer to the question.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Adjourn meetings.
Okay, the time is 7:14.
A second.
All in favor? Meeting?
Okay. Do you want to- Monday, we want some cupcakes to take home. I don't want to take them home. Tom, you want some cupcakes? Yeah. I've got extra cupcakes I made. Do you want to take home? I don't want to take them. I'll get her a plate of them. I would like you guys to.
Hang it up.
Yeah.